Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
June 28, 11:15 America, New York. Credit Suisse looks to channel Goldman Sachs. Two hires from the Wall Street Bank brought a new tone to the Swiss company's investor day, but shareholders seem to be waiting for concrete results.
New York Times Business.
June 28, 11:05 America, New York. Daniel Weiss, Met Museum's chief executive, to step down. Daniel H. Weiss was a stabilizing force, but his departure raises questions about whether the museum's two-pronged management structure still works and will continue. Daniel H.
Daily FX Market News.
June 28, 11 o'clock America, New York. Bitcoin technical levels. BTC, USD range holds. Is a breakout near? Bitcoin, BTC, USD, continues to consolidate despite a slight boost in sentiment. China restrictions ease but inflation pressures remain a key concern for policymakers and consumers.
Global economy.
June 28, 10:35 America, New York. In an era of disorder, open trade is at risk. Action is needed to shore up the global commons, and less powerful countries must take the initiative.
Daily FX Market News.
June 28, 10:25 America, New York. U.S. consumer confidence worsens as sky-high inflation hits household budgets. U.S. consumer confidence slumps more than expected in June, falling to its lowest level since February 2021 amid four-decade high inflation and growing concerns about the economic outlook.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
June 28, 9:56 America, New York. Credit Suisse eyes cost cuts to stabilize embattled bank. The Swiss bank plans to cut technology expenditure to spend more targeting ultra-rich customers, in its latest effort to stabilize an operation hobbled by scandals and missteps.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
June 28, 9:41 America, New York. Jewel says FDA mishandled its e-cigarette application. In court filings, the e-cigarette maker says the FDA overlooked more than 6,000 pages of data the company had submitted on the aerosols that users inhale.
BBC News. Business.
June 28, 9:31 America, New York. Walgreens abandons Boots sale after market turmoil. The owner of the UK pharmacy chain says no buyer was able to make an adequate offer.
BBC News Business.
June 28, 9:31 America, New York. Walgreens abandons Boots sale after market turmoil. The owner of the UK pharmacy chain says no buyer was able to make an adequate offer.
Daily FX Market News. June 28, 9:23 America, New York. DAX, Dow and FTSE gain following sentiment boost from China. Markets have their green-colored glasses on today. Can the good vibes last?
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
June 28, 9 o'clock America, New York. Home price growth slowed in April. The S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller National Home Price Index rose 20.4% in the year that ended in April, down slightly from the prior month.
New York Times Business.
June 28, 8:59 America, New York. Who's profiting from demand for Plan B? A rush to stock up on emergency contraception could mean huge profits for the investors behind the well-known morning after pill. A package of Plan B.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
June 28, 8:53 America, New York. At Toshiba, activist investors finally get a seat at the table. Toshiba said it has received 10 non-binding proposals from different suitors. With two activist investors now on the board, the company and its shareholders must work together to remake the industrial conglomerate.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
June 28, 8:30 America, New York. Meta, TikTok could face civil liability for addicting children in California. Social media companies are lobbying to stop a first-in-the-nation proposal allowing government attorneys to sue them for features alleged to cause addiction among minors.
New York Times Business.
June 28, 7:30 America, New York. Lost and found. USB sticks with data on 460,000 people. The plight of a technician tasked with transferring a city's worth of personal data is a lesson in the risks of combining small, important objects with a night out drinking. The city of Amagasaki, Japan, in 2018. Marginal revolution.
June 28, 7:25 America, New York. Blockchains, a promise enforcement engine. Anthony Lee Jong on blockchains. How do blockchains change the state of things? Blockchains are an alternative system for promise enforcement, fundamentally different from any system human history has seen before.
BBC News Business. June 28, 6:20 America, New York. Businesses urged to slash prices by cost of living czar. David Buttress will launch a taxpayer-funded campaign after asking business to come up with ideas to help consumers. BBC News Business.
June 28, 6:07 America, New York. Camelot says people buying fewer scratch cards as living costs rise. The company says there are signs consumers have tightened their belts as living costs rise.
BBC News Business. June 28, 6:07 America, New York. Camelot says people buying fewer scratch cards as living costs rise. The company says there are signs consumers have tightened their belts as living costs rise.
Global economy.
June 28, 5:56 America, New York. Lagarde hardens ECB's message on fighting inflation. Focus on tackling rising price expectations in Eurozone is great challenge for central bank, says President.
BBC News Business.
June 28, 5:07 America, New York. Businesses urged to slash prices by cost of living czar. David Buttress will launch a taxpayer-funded campaign after asking business to come up with ideas to help consumers.